So you want to learn how to display your Lego sets the right way. Well, you've come to the right place. In this video, I will be going over the 4 main parts of creating an excellent Lego display. And number 4 is kind of a bonus, so definitely stay tuned for that. There's only so much a really good looking Lego set can do, like a UCS set or a D2C. That's half the story, but the other half is your job. You have to figure out the perfect ways to make it work really great with your room, whether it be your bedroom or your basement, whatever it is. You have to make it all work together really good. And in this video, I'm going to show you. The first thing you're going to want to think about is the positioning of your set. Now this means, is the Lego set at a diagonal? Is it straight? Is it like sideways? This is what positioning of your set is about. This is really a set to set thing that you have to decide. So for example, if the set is like really long and there's a bunch of details on the side but not much in the front, like it's kind of a long and skinny one, you're definitely going to want to put that one sideways and like maybe put it towards the front so other things can go up behind it, like maybe buildings or larger sets. A general rule of thumb I like to stick with, which is actually pretty obvious, is put the large sets in the back and put the shorter sets in the front. This will just make sure you can see the set. So like you can see the top part of the larger sets and all of the smaller sets. Just is pretty obvious, so not too hard to understand. Sets that have a really good looking front, like the ISS for example, you're going to want to have those facing straight forward because it wouldn't make sense to have them sideways. That just doesn't add up. So sets like that, you're going to want to have them face forward and the other ones sideways. Another thing I like to take into consideration though is almost a vanishing point. Now this is kind of an advanced technique, so don't worry about it too much, but I like to angle my sets so they're all like facing the same thing. So just imagine there's a vanishing point and that's where all the sets should be facing. If you were to draw a diagram, the sets directly in front of the vanishing point would be straight on because like they're facing directly at the vanishing point. The ones to the side of those would be a little bit angled so they're still facing at the vanishing point, and then so on and so forth. Obviously you don't have to follow this 100% because it wouldn't make sense to just have them like going around in a circle. That doesn't look good. So just use it to a certain degree. And now everything doesn't have to be pointed at the vanishing point. So for example, you can have 3 vanishing points. One at the leftmost side of your display, rightmost side of your display, and the center of your display. So you have some facing maybe at the leftmost side of the display, some in the center vanishing point, and some on the right vanishing point. This is kind of just like an art technique, to tell you the truth, and I mean, displaying your Lego sets is technically art, so you know, you can use it too. But when it really comes down to it, you just have to put something up there that you really like to look at. So whether it be a battle, you have them like going in all different directions, or even like a line of modulars, those would be all straight on, no vanishing points there. So vanishing point is really a thing that has to be used in moderation, like most things. I personally like to group sets from similar parts of Star Wars, for example, the original trilogy, or the Battle of Hoth, or the Mandalorian, just so it looks kind of uniform and it's not just sprawled everywhere. Like you got a Clone Wars set here and a Rise of Skywalker set here, and you got Luke Skywalker over here. Just make sure you're having like some sort of theme between where things are. One last thing I would like to touch on is you don't have to just put Lego in your display. You can also put other things like other toys like Black Series, other action figures, or even things you just get from the Lego VIP system, like, I don't know, the coins or any other things you get. It doesn't just have to be Lego. I like how that adds a bunch of variety to your display, and if you do it right, it comes together really nice. That's all you need to know about the positioning of your set. So now we're going to move on to our second part, which is minifigures. Now before we even think about how we're going to display our minifigures, we have to answer this question. Do I even want minifigures in my display? Because I know there are some people that don't really want them there because they're so small, and minifigures are really valuable, some of them, so they want to keep them like, you know, not dusty and in good condition, so you might not want to have them out there in the elements. So if that is you, then you can definitely skip to the next timestamp, which should be in the description, if you don't want to learn how to do this. If you do though, stay tuned. So when I get a new Lego set and I'm going to display it, and I'm going to do the minifigures, I always take them and put them into dynamic poses. Basically is what that means is basically like they're just not how you get them in the package. So they're not like their arms are straight down, their hands are like straight, their weapons and whatnot. It's kind of like dynamic, so it looks cool. And you can call it whatever you want. You don't have to call it dynamic. So whether that means putting them on the Lego set, so like in the cockpit for example, or like doing something with the Lego set, or just like displaying them around, like having them running around, shooting their guns, that type of thing. You really don't have to overthink this. You just have to think, what is this character's role? So whether it be like a stormtrooper shooting their gun, or I don't know, an astronaut flying through space, you can really decide. And I always look at what accessory is included with them because that can give you a key clue on what they're supposed to be doing. So like if the Jedi has a lightsaber, they're going to be swooshing their lightsaber around, not shooting a gun. Or if they can do multiple things, for example, like with Boba Fett and Boba Fett's palace, like he can either go on his throne or it can be shooting a gun. You can really choose, and that gives you the creative liberty to do whatever you want. And you don't just have to do like logical things. You could put Boba Fett on the roof. You could put him in the Rancor pit. Not that the set has one. There's a lot you can really do with minifigures, and you really get to decide what story you want to tell. So that's all I got for minifigures, and now we're going to move on to part 3, display stands and how to save space. As most of us know, we don't have unlimited space, so you're going to want to make the best of it. And display stands are another thing that's great for saving space, but I'm going to touch on that later. The number one thing I want to say is the type of shelves you have. Most bookshelves and whatnot are going to work great for this because really all you need is a neutral color like a black or a white or maybe even a gray. You just need a sturdy spot to put your Lego sets because it can't be wobbly because that would be really unsafe. Obviously, if you have deep sets, you're going to want deep shelves, or if you have tall sets, tall shelves. You can really decide what shelves you need based on the sets you have. So now display stands. The reason these things are really great for saving space is because you can raise sets up, mostly ships because that's what's going to be in the air, and you can put other sets underneath them so you can have them kind of stacked even though you're not using actual shelves to stack them. You can build your own display stands out of your own Lego parts, or you can probably look up tutorials on how to build display stands, or you can buy some actual ones from sites like Wicked Bricks. I think they make some. Those are really good. The thing I use though are Pick-a-Brick cups because those also work really good because they're pretty tall and you know they're pretty flat surface to put your Lego set on. This is a really cool strategy to get some really good looking poses and all of that stuff. Now on to tip number 4, lights. Like I said, this is mostly a bonus tip, so you don't really need to do this, but this will definitely take your display to the next level. What I mean by lights is you can really do whatever you want. You can do like what I have, like that small little Millennium Falcon like light that you can change colors. That's pretty cool. You can do that just to go like minimalistic, or you can add like the full on lights behind everything like I also have, so you can like change the colors there too. Or if you want to do something really cool, you can get like these sets where it like comes with lights that you install into your Lego sets so they light up like the real thing. It's the most epic thing ever. I honestly would never really do that because I just like to stay purist to the Lego sets, and that's really not purist, so I'm gonna stay away from that, but you can do it if you want to. So that is all I know about creating a really good looking Lego display. You can use these strategies to create your own, maybe mix and match a few, do whatever you want. Make your display fun and something that you enjoy. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out this video where I show you how to display your Lego Slave 1. You can check that out now.